do you have a specific kind of, at least hope, maybe not necessarily a plan, but where you want your professional career to go?
I don't have a plan per se. I haven't written anything off the table
Yeah.
just because there's so many experiences I haven't had.
Mm.
I know mostly I'm not a large animal person,
Yeah.
but I still haven't written it off because I haven't had that rotation yet.
Yep.
Um, I am very much attracted to emergency medicine, but also in a disaster response. In my brain, things that make me very excited are, a natural disaster happening and then me going to help with
Oh, okay. Yeah.
veterinary care of animals during that.
Yeah. That's
Those kinds of
awesome.
things make me excited. I also really like infectious disease, hence the reason that I'm also getting an MPH at the
Hmm.
same time as my DVM.
Yep.
That may be a little crazy, but
Dr. Katie did it. So her last couple years of vet school, she got her MPH actually through University of Minnesota too. So she was in East Lansing and got her MPH from U of M. So not only put the excessive workload, but also a significant distance. So it is possible, and I think there's a reason. I think it's you can do it. So yeah, I guess you're open to new ideas and all those sort. Letting kind of life push you in a direction. Does that kind of sound about right?
yeah, I'm not really interested at this stage in my life because I am older.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really interested in owning my own practice.
Okay.
I know that's very appealing for a lot of
Mm-hmm.
new veterinarians, and more power to them.
Yeah.
That's not something that I'm interested in. I want to work somewhere that I have great mentorship, that I have great teamwork. I get along with my colleagues well, and we practice high quality medicine. So
Yeah.
wherever that leads me,
Yeah.
that's where I want to be.
Yeah, I think too the cool part about that is one thing that happened really, really early on at PAW Health was, Carlo and Katie bought the practice 2015, put about a year in. It was a little bit less than a year. And then Annie, who is our senior accountability officer, and she's a CVT, she joined the team. So she had worked for the clinic that was purchased prior to purchase and knew them. And then ended up working at another practice for a while, and then through a little bit of recruiting effort, ended up here at PAW, and she's been exactly that. In it, not necessarily focused on ownership, to my knowledge. I could be out of the loop on something like that, whatever. But she's been that quote unquote ideal team player. Whatever it is that we got to do, whatever it is that we got to get done, we're going to get it done, and we're going to do so in a way that's going to encourage a quality culture. We're going to work together as a team. We're going to collaborate effectively. We're going to have conflict, and we're going to handle it in an appropriate way. And she's been absolutely invaluable to the entire process. I think Carlo might be sitting behind the wall here, behind me at this point, but if I brought him in here, or Katie, it'd be the person that kind of really let this run was Annie. So there's a lot of value in being that person that's I don't necessarily need the quote unquote financial stake in this, because with that, you lose flexibility on the family side and all that. And but there's so much value to be distributed, both in wisdom, expertise, but also just a willingness to say yes and just collaborating with people. Is that something with your, when you were younger, did you have high hopes within your military experience to get that higher level leadership position, to kind of move up the ranks, or were you okay with kind of finding your place and fulfilling it well, or is that something that has transitioned where you've been a little bit more okay with not necessarily being the head honcho, as you've kind of grown and gained experience and grown your family as well? I guess, how has that kind of gone for you?
I think when I was younger, I was probably more interested in being the head honcho.
Yeah.
Maybe not the top dog, but
Right.
I definitely was interested in not being the bottom of the barrel either.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, but I think now that I've had some life experience, I've realized that you can be just as effective as somebody further down the totem pole as the
Yeah.
very top of the totem pole. You
Yep.
don't have to hold that leadership position. And in fact, a lot of the most influential veterinarians I know don't hold that top leadership position.
Yeah.
they're somewhere in the middle and they're okay with that, but they can influence in both directions and they're comfortable with where they are and how they affect change in both,
Yeah.
upwards and downwardly.